Hey guys, Mike the Vike here, back for yet another video. Today we're going to do a commentary on the top 5 survival games of 2015. A lot of new games in this genre have come out, and a lot of games that came out originally in 2014 have developed quite a lot, and so I thought it'd be cool to just look back and think about what's happened this year. For number 5, I'm going to give it to Unturned, and simply because it's free to play, it's made by, I think, still just one guy, and he's like 18 now, and honestly, it actually has a lot of content. It's just that the graphics don't look all that impressive. A lot of people do play the game though, and it's very, very popular even to this day. And in general, it's actually just not a bad game, I just don't play it for some reason. But it really does have basically everything you want to look for in a survival game. It just lacks the graphics, I guess. For number 4, I'm going to give it to H1Z1, simply because this sounds kind of odd, but I'd say it's kind of like the best DayZ clone available. Like, a lot of games are either trying to copy Rust or DayZ, and you know, of course adding their own things, blah blah blah, vehicles, etc. But I think H1Z1 is the best out of kind of like the second generation of survival games. It's not doing like fantastically, but it's still fairly popular. You know, a lot of people like Battle Royale. I think one of the issues with the game is that it's just so similar to the other games. Like, we're used to the environment, we're used to zombies, we've seen a lot of the stuff before. It's just that they have actually done a lot of the stuff right in this game. However, it's a few years too late, I guess. They also had a pretty rough start, you know, a lot of hacker issues, a lot of just straight game issues. But anyways, it's still a good game, it still deserves a spot on this list. For number 3, I'm going to give it to Hurtworld, because I believe that it's probably the best out of the new survival games. It has a lot of potential. Of course, they could still totally flop and just abandon the game like any developer. I do have a lot of faith in this game, and I do hope it turns out well. The only problem with the game now is that it's lacking content, so I would say Rust is probably overall a better game currently. It's still got a ton of potential. I look forward to the future of the game. On day 1, the game actually was quite positive. I had almost no issues. There was a dupe glitch, which they very quickly fixed. And yeah, it looks to be a good game. We just gotta wait and see if they will, you know, continue to be good developers. For number 2, I'm gonna give it to Rust, because honestly, it's kind of the best out of the old games. If you think about it, Rust came out before any of these other games did. DayZ and Rust were kind of the main games that a lot of other companies copied afterwards, and a lot of the other games are based off of it. They're like the OG of survival games, I guess. In my opinion, very subjective. The reason I include it now is most of the games that came out 2 years ago have slowed down content a lot. I mean, DayZ is definitely on that list. This game, however, is totally different. You know, it's gotten a lot of its money a really long time ago, and they're still continuing development. They remade the game this past year, and overall, they've just done an excellent job adding new content and continuing to develop the game, whereas at this point, they could have probably quite easily abandoned the game. However, yeah, they've added so much content, and they're still continuing development. I think they're great developers. With that said, you know, Legacy still has the better PvP. I really wish they would fix some of those core things. But yeah, at the end of the day, it's still one of the top survival games. Even if you just forget about the 2-year thing, it's still got a lot of things that other games just haven't quite figured out, and that's why it gets number 2. The number 1 survival game of 2015 goes to ARK Survival Evolved. This is due to a lot of reasons. Firstly, I'd say it's one of the more unique games. You know, we've seen a lot of games in the Rust/DayZ style. This one was in a totally different universe, right? You got the dinosaurs, they added a lot of PvE elements, which people weren't used to. They've got that leveling system. They've got a lot of things that are very unique, and they made the game at the right time, so it was super popular. And it's still very popular, in fact, more popular than Rust and any of them, so even on a popularity base, they're still number 1. The developers seem to be really nice. They're adding lots and lots of content all the time, whether it's just new dinosaurs, new guns, new everything, clothing, environments. I think they have a snow biome now, a marsh. It's just got a lot of new content for it. Although the optimization of the game isn't all that great, you can tone down the settings and it'll runs okay for me. So that's my top 5 games of 2015. However, I felt like I should include some honorable mentions because a lot of games came out this year. And yeah, I didn't want to make it seem like just because they weren't on this list doesn't mean they're good games. There's plenty of good games. Subnautica is a really, really awesome game in a really cool environment. The underwater thing is amazing and gorgeous graphics. It's just lacking a lot of content and a lot of reason to play the game for more than like a couple hours. However, they are making progress. I did try the game out recently. It's just not there yet, you know? It's just too early in development. GRAV is another excellent game. Again, very unique environment. That seems to be a theme. It's also got a lot of unique features, like the leveling system is on its own, but again, it suffers the issue where you just run out of things to do. Also, there's not enough PvP in the game, so it gets kind of boring with just PvE. And finally, I got The Forest, because that's one of those games that came out like a year ago, and they're still continuing development, which is nice to see. It's definitely a much better game than it was back then. The graphics are still really good, but once again, recurring theme, not enough content. I mean, cool, you can build a house, but I don't see much reason why. A lot of these games have content, but there's no reason to do the things that they offer. So that's my full list of the top 5 games of 2015 with some honorable mentions. Let me know what you think. What were your top 5 games? I don't know, this is completely opinionated, so maybe your opinion is totally different. Maybe you think the Rust sucks. Maybe Legacy was way better. Maybe ARK is way too laggy and shouldn't be on this list at all. Whatever your thoughts and feeling are, let me know. Anyways, guys, that's all I got for today. If you enjoyed, don't forget to leave a like. Thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in the next video.